Hey, Gator Nation. Welcome back to Respect Our Decision podcast. This is our raw reaction episode for the Kentucky game. And man, we got some reactions to give. Not the best night in Gator Nation, but we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about it and see where we go from here. As always, guys, please make sure you go ahead and download us on all your podcast providers: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. And as always, big shout out to our sponsor, Camwood Supplements. Visit camwoodsupplements.com and use code RESPECT20 to save 20% on your purchase. So, guys, we're just going to kick it off, man. Our boy Mike in the trenches, as always, was at the game last night, and he's going to go ahead and give us, information as far as how things were down there. Mike, how was it?
It started out pretty. Honestly, I probably got there. Well, I actually got there Friday night. Ended up staying in. Wanted to preserve my energy for the nightcap on Saturday. That never happened. But it probably got on campus probably right around 12-ish, and just walked around. It was dead. Compared to Utah, it was like night and day. Obviously, you're not going to have, it's not going to be as busy, first game, Napier era, but I still expected a lot more. I'm almost 100% positive the weather had something to do with that. And it did, in fact, rain. It wasn't bad at all. We're talking 15 minutes. So, and anyways, with that being said, the energy just wasn't there walking around campus. It was probably 4-ish, 3-ish maybe. So it was not the best vibe. I probably should have caught it may have been from the football gods when I was walking to a tailgate and my freaking shades, the lens popped out just randomly walking. So that no big deal. $400 sunglasses, what could go wrong, right?
Things to come.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, with that being said, went to this, social, tailgates, had a good little time. We get in there. Crowd wasn't like sold out, but definitely a good crowd. Crowd throughout was, that's where I give them credit for. It was definitely. You saw the game, that was every opportunity for a crowd to just be quiet, but no matter how inconsistent we look, I won't dive into, any the details because that we're going to talk about obviously.
Let me ask you this.
No matter what happened.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
The crowd, 1 second. The crowd was always, we're talking that up until we could not win, literally, the crowd was backing the defense. And people started to leave. There was one guy, he should be banned from there. It was like 9 minutes left on the fourth. Goes, oh, this is done. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a one-score game. So I digress. But the crowd was always backing, like, loud, too, in terms of, so maybe not the loudest, but they were definitely, getting, the money down, stuff like that. What's up, Wes?
Well, you kind of answered my question. It was a lot of stoppage for injured players and flags and booth reviews and this and that. I was going to ask you how it was then, but you kind of answered my question. But can you talk about that?
Yeah,
all the stoppage in the first half.
Yeah, and when you're there, when you're watching the game. I actually had this conversation with a guy I was with. He, Cam, catch him on Twitter. The Cam Doug or something. Anyways, the bottom line. It's when you're there, the stoppages, it's freaking, they kill you. You're like, dude, come on. TV timeout. You're like, dude, we just had one. My battery's, I'm on 30%, bro. I'm not going to make it. So it's excruciating. And then when you get timeouts, and I had I think it was some meth head who ended up kicking me in the back in the fourth quarter because I wasn't chanting blue and orange. She literally like screaming for the guy. They're like, get up. Everyone's looking at her like, you're a despicable human being. So, and that was another, that was probably another 10-minute stop, and just stoppage after stoppage. But we can't say that played into the game at all because we never had momentum. So if anything, that helped us. And it's just, yeah. But overall, like I said, the crowd did everything they could.
Absolutely.
We showed resolve the whole game.
You could tell even on TV. I mean, it was very obvious. Every time they panned to the crowd was up. Like you said, even late in the fourth quarter, they were 100% behind the defense. When they missed the field goal to late in the fourth, the crowd was still, high energy. It can't be blamed on the fans, that's for sure. The fans did their part 100% the whole game. But, like last week, we broke down, kind of the halves of the game and stuff like that. We're not going to do that today, guys. We're going to just give some reactions. Everybody knows what they saw. We're going to talk a little bit about how we feel about it and what we feel like, we need to do going forward. So Mike, because you were there, we're going to, what was your reactions just to how things were, as far as what you saw and the feeling there from yourself and the fans around you as to what you saw as far as as the game went?
Like fellow Gator fans or Kentucky or
no Gator fans, how you felt, how your reactions just there in the stadium watching. I mean, AR struggle. What the hell? What the hell did we just watch? I mean,
I wanted to do this yesterday. I was absolutely livid. I was absolutely livid. I got a little, dejected at, walking through the stadium, but I was absolutely livid. Once again, I'm only going to touch on this. You may see a vein throughout my forehead, but between, play calling inaccuracies, just lack of push in the O-line. I mean, like I gave credit, to their defense. I know it was a solid group. It's not elite at all. Our talent across the board, we have 3 to 5 NFL players, including at least one day 2 draft pick. So there's absolutely no reason for what occurred to occur. So I'm absolutely livid. In addition to that, what truly sucked is 3 top 10 teams went down. So we're probably number 7 in the country. So that's a whole – you talk about a dropped opportunity, the visitor list as well. So you're losing program momentum, recruiting, not to mention, I didn't expect us. We will not get – unless you had a Cam Newton type season, we're not winning a national championship. I'm okay with that. I put it 6 to 10 wins, most likely around 8. It's still probable. But end of the day, you lose program momentum, period. Like I had us losing to Georgia. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But there's literally no excuse. Kentucky played how I knew they played, and it was absolutely ridiculous. So it's a joke. And like I said, we'll talk about it later. They play offensively. They played like a joke. Will Levis is still not good at football. Gator football lost to Will Levis twice, where he played like dog shit in 2 consecutive years. So it's absolutely ridiculous. Mark Stoops is now the most winningest coach. He's the winningest coach. When he's proper grammar. He's the winningest coach, and program history happened at the Swamp at night. And like I said, they didn't play well. They couldn't run the ball. Their special teams, which is their strength, played like crap. I mean, they gave us every reason to win the game. Every reason. And we couldn't win the game. So the crowd was in it. Their strength was their weakness. The best kicker probably in the SEC missed a gimme that I can toe the ball. I can make that kick. I'm not even making a joke. They used to do it in practice to get out of sprints. So it's a freaking joke. All right. So I don't know what happened with AR. It could be an outlier. I don't know. But the play calling, I can't get mad at the initial script because it was missed throws. I wouldn't have done that, but at the end of the day, the throws were technically there. So I can't get mad at the opening script. What I can't get mad is we are not a pass like a trash team, pass to open up the run. We are a run to open up the pass, and we never did it the whole game. So why are you doing that? So those runs, ETN, he would have got that in like the third quarter. He almost had it. Well, tell you what, if you have that game plan in the first quarter, he has it. That's how running works. People get tired. So if your 2 guards weigh 331 pounds, 347 pounds, guess what happens? Other teams get tired. So I'm going to get off my little rant there because more is to come, and I don't want to go too in depth. But I'm freaking pissed because my football team And I called her, it's like, hey, I'll take a dirty dub all day. What should be with a crappy win with my quarterback playing, getting out of the. I think they just shredded his ticket to New York, his plane ticket. They just canceled it. But that's regardless. I don't care. You walk out of there playing like absolute dog crap with a win and being number 7 in the country. Because Baylor would have dropped out of the top 10. They were at 9. They lost to BYU. Texas A&M, we know what I freaking called. But I don't need 16 points. I took the money line, and I just kept showing people, guess who freaking right knows football. But once again, they'll talk about it on the Thursday show. And then Notre Dame just showed, I mean, I am Catholic. It is Sunday, but guess what? You still suck, okay? No one in right – I don't even think the Lord Jesus Christ would have taken Marshall, okay? Maybe Matthew McConaughey because he was in that movie. So it was absolutely ridiculous, and I'm still pissed. I hope it's an anomaly. I know it's year 1. I'm not saying fire Napier, but this is an inexcusable loss, period. We had a questionable 4th down call where we should have punted at the 4th quarter. It was ridiculous all the way around.
He's passionate, folks, and I can't blame him. I can't blame him at all. Wes,
probably better I wasn't on last night.
Wes, you got any thing to add to that impressive rant?
Nah, man. I mean, I it won't be like Mike, so don't expect me to go. You know, I guess
popping in the forehead.
Yeah. I had a day to sleep on it. Like, this is our raw reaction, and if we had gone last night, I probably would have been like Mike. I don't know if I would have been like Mike because I was so dejected. I left the game depressed. I didn't want to see anything on social media. I didn't want to read any reports. I didn't want to rewatch. I didn't want to. It left you disappointed because of what Mike has said earlier about the people in front of us, with Notre Dame dropping, Texas A&M dropping. You know, that there was an opportunity for us to, you look at it, and I think I spoke about it Thursday. Our first 4 games, we had 3 ranked teams. I mean, we were going to put ourselves in position to do something spectacular. And to Mike's point, Kentucky tried to give us every reason to do it. I mean, their strength, which is a special team, you got punters. I mean, the long snapper snap it over the punter's head. You got the missing field goals. I mean,
extra point.
It was. I mean, it was crazy, and I was like, okay, they're gonna give it to us, and the AR can never find his rhythm. I thought early in the game, I was like, okay, this is a repeat of. I didn't lose hope throughout the game because okay, all it takes is one. And to Mike's point, I was like, okay, we're gonna run the ball more. My thing is, I hope we don't get into this running back thing that happened last year. I think it's evident after 2 games who our most special player is at the running back position. And we got to – the kid has to get more carries. He has to get more touches, has to be on the field more. 1-2 punch him in my trail. Naquan is a good security guy. I don't know if it's – maybe ETN doesn't know. And I know this people don't realize, but third down, when you're passing downs for the running back matters. So you have to be able to know protection and block. So if that's the case, then Naquan coming for that. But he needs to, him and Naquan and Etienne they need to swap carries. Etienne needs to get the 10 plus carries, and Naquan needs to get maybe the 5 to 7. Because we need explosion in the offense. We need to rely on that. We should be a run first, pass second team, get AR in the rhythm early. I would like to see us use our tight ends more, get him some easy throws. Because he early in the games he's high, and if his quarterback is almost like pitching. Once you find the strike zone, you're good. But once you can't find it, you can't find his release early in the game. And he was high all freaking game. And credit to our defense. Our defense kept us in this game. We struggled again with the tight ends earlier. I mean, but the defense, big sacks here and there. Boone, my guy, did a good job. Kept hearing about him in the fall. I mean, in spring practice, I mean, I'm just hurt, man, because I mean, we had this and everything was in front of us, and for us not to show up offensively for questionable play calling, I wasn't mad at the first 4th down in the first time, but the second one I think we should have punted. We still had 3 timeouts left. The defense had showed that they could stop them. We were giving up more run. Like late in the game, as we start to wear down, But I mean, overall, to your original question, I mean, I was hurt. I wasn't mad. I was more hurt, and I still support the team. Like I said, I still had faith. I wouldn't have left like Mike did. I mean, like Mike said, the fans did.
Whoa.
I said, like, listen, I said the fans, like you said. I said you said the fans. I said you said the fans.
He just misspoke.
I misspoke. I said the fans. But I mean, because I just thought something would happen. You know, it was like, okay, he's gonna make a play. He's gonna put on that Superman cape. He's gonna make a play. These were the games we talked about with coin flip games. And can he put the S on his chest and be that guy? And last night, after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, it wasn't like he had one or two chances. He had opportunities, and he actually gave Kentucky the game with the pick six. So, I mean, it is what it is. Adjustments. I'm looking forward to the adjustments week 3 and 4.
Absolutely. That's something I want to see as well. I want to but I'm going to give my reactions just real quick, and then we're going to move on. I'm frustrated. I'm very, very frustrated. I'm frustrated not just because AR struggled. I mean, that's we'll get to that in a minute. The kids had way too much put on his shoulders. I don't think he's all the way ready for all of that, and that's just a whole nother segment. I'm frustrated with this play calling last night that I saw. I'm really tired of seeing runs to the short side of the field. Now I understand that, you know, I know it always seems to be the short side of the field is to the right, and that's where Osiris is, and you want to run off Osiris, and I totally get that, but I don't feel like we give our guys a lot of room to make plays in space. I'm tired of receiver screens. I understand you want to kind of get AR back in a rhythm and give him some easy throws, but I feel like maybe, you know, there are some other easier throws in the playbook that you could give the guy, you know. Once again, I mean, the blocking on the wide receiver screens never seems to be there. That's a whole different conversation. That's not working. We've seen it for 2 games now. They haven't busted one of them for longer than maybe 6-7 yards, and that's just your receiver fighting for every single yard he can get on the play. That's not, that's not because that's all him fighting through tackles, because the play is, I mean, the guys are on him as soon as it's there because it's easily recognizable. I know that I know AR seemed to maybe have twisted his ankle a little bit on the second play of the game. That's here nor there. I think it speaks volumes to our quarterback depth, obviously, that I think the play calling went away from trying to keep AR safe and not run the ball with him as much. I mean, but you can't play that way, man. This is SEC football. You cannot play scared of anything. You have to go out there and play your game. I understand that our depth is a concern. Everybody knows it. It is what it is. You still got to go out there and play winning football, and we did not. We did not play winning football. We played timid football. And Billy made comments such afterwards. I mean, Billy took ownership. I will give Billy all the credit in the world for his comments post-game. Something we weren't used to from the last staff. Absolutely. I mean, he didn't get up there and make jokes about anything or try to make light of it or, you know, whatever, Dan would have done. Billy got up there and owned it. He said it's on him. AR struggled, but he said he put AR into some bad positions, and you got to give the man, he said the right things. Now, once again, you got to see some adjustments. You've got to see some things change. We're about to get into some stats real quick, and Naquan Wright, the kid's been here a while. He's not the answer. Wes just alluded to it. I mean,
he's just a bad scheme fit. I mean, he's good. He's a bad scheme fit.
He doesn't read the holes to me as good as the other two does at all. If you watch it,
I know it
might. He doesn't. He just runs right into the 8 carries for 24 yards is not going to get it done. I mean, it's just not. On the pick six, I don't know exactly whose fault was what on that. It doesn't really matter, but his effort after the pick six was very telling. He did not make any effort to chase the play down. He looked defeated. Okay. I mean, it's a bad play, but you're not out of the game. I mean, you're still in the game. It put us down a touchdown. So get your head off your shoulders and go. I mean, and that's the whole team. I mean, now the defense played up, and you could see when the frustration started to set in a little bit in the second half, but they played high, man. The defense played with high effort the whole night. I really liked what we saw from the defensive line, a lot of push.
We got so many guys.
I saw this morning that Ventrell is hurt and had to leave, and it's a lower leg injury, and I feel so bad for the kid. I hope it's nothing serious, but I guess we'll wait and see. The kids are going to have to step up, though, man. Shamar James, Wingo, those guys are going to – it's your time now. If he can't go, you got to step up.
Yeah, Scooby played a lot last night,
and
too.
Scooby as well, yes. You just got to step up. And we're going to find out now what this staff and what these kids are made of, man. They're going to step up and improve. They've got a good game coming up to do that, to make some adjustments, to get back in a rhythm. And then you got to get ready to go to Knoxville. And there ain't, they don't have as good a defense as what we saw on the field yesterday, but you're not going to be at home. You're not going to be playing, in front of your fans. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy. And they're going to call, they're
going to take shots.
They're going to take shots, man. And you're going to have to be ready. And you're not going to be able to, but once again, get back to what you do best. Run the football. Mike said it loud. Punch the other guy in the mouth and run it down their throat. Set your quarterback up for some easy throws. Don't go out there throwing 3 out of 4 times to open the – I mean, it's just – I don't know if we were just trying to back guys out of the box to open it up, but at some point you got to say it's not working and go the other way, and we didn't.
And the problem with the opening script worked, so that's the problem. They were open.
There was as many drops as there were incomplete.
Once you get off the opening script, is where I'm at.
Yes, you have to adjust on the fly.
The quarterback misses throws because I can't say it's a bad play call because you miss a wide open receiver. It's not a bad play call. You're just not getting the job done.
But he has to, as the season progresses, he's going to have to make those throws because Kentucky, that was one of the things with our run. They were man to man and said, we're going to load the box. And they had an extra man in the box that we couldn't account for sometimes. But a lot of times I saw, late in the fourth quarter, our center got whipped. I mean, whipped.
Kingsley got whipped. Garage got whipped a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Mike, it was horrendous. It was crazy. And it was something that we didn't expect. And another thing that we didn't hit on, Ricky wasn't in late. Why isn't your best receiver on the field? I needed one to be on the field. He's our most explosive receiver. He was I'm biased because he was my pick this week because I wanted to see the explosion. He wasn't on the field late. I mean, these are things that I want to see AR maybe roll out to get him in rhythm. That's to me, that's what Ricky and the tight end is for, because that's how he gets in a rhythm, hitting the tight end. I don't care if it's a rollout, play action. The play that everybody has that's always hard to defend, what Kentucky was eating us up with and Utah was eating us with, like a little 5-yard drag to the tight end. You know what I mean? Yeah. We gotta do that to get them some easy. Yeah,
we need some simpler plays.
Yeah, man.
I would also like to see him get rolled out a little bit more. Just to feel him a little more natural, a little more.
Yeah, he hit short on a couple of those last week.
And to give him some more options. I mean, it's just.
He hit shorter twice last week with those, and like I said, he has to also stop throwing a Spencer Strider 110-mile fastball. I mean, he has to know how to put touch on more of his passes. So that's something he has to work with.
And that's the learning curve. And like I said, we're going to get to that in a second. I want to talk just real quick about. No, you're good. You're good. This team did not do. Kentucky did not bring an offense that was built up to beat. I mean, Will Levis had 202 yards on 13 of 24 passing, and including, the long 55-yarder down the middle that Kimber was on his guy. I mean, he should have broke it up, but it didn't. I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, that's 55 yards of the 204. He was harassed all night long.
Yeah, man.
Kentucky ran for an average of 1.8 yards a carry. Now, granted, I know negative 39 of that's on the punt, the bad punt. The way they total that up is weird. But at halftime, they had like an average of negative 3.7 yards a carry. It was, filthy the way our defense held these guys and harassed Levis all night long. But you can't answer a game like that with 14 of 35 passing, for 143 yards. And while we averaged 4.5 yards a carry, Anthony accounted for none of that. I mean, there was almost no quarterback runs. The one that was designed early, the draw play right there on the first drive. Garage missed the block on the spy. Garage came through to the second level, was supposed to hit the spy and didn't get there fast enough, and the guy made the tackle in the hole. I mean, the design was correct. The execution was not.
It seemed like last night we would get a couple big plays, and then we'd stall out. Like, we would move the ball, even on the play down the sideline when he hit Henderson on the sideline. I don't know if that was Reynolds or Frazier. I have to do my rewatch. But he was breaking wide open. And he just didn't – I don't know if he didn't trust it. He didn't see it.
Well, it was
but he didn't.
After Montrell's 40-yard run, 40-yard run down the sideline, and then 2 out of the next 3 plays were wide receiver screens. You just gouged them for a 40-yard run, and then you ran 2 out of 3 wide receiver screens. I don't understand that. Mike, what you think?
My main thing is, end of the day, you can just toss. I'll compare it to, let's just say, Utah. Would you say Utah, their game plan predominantly did not work in the first half?
Utah's offense?
Correct.
No.
Okay. Second half.
They adjusted.
Mollywopped?
Yep. Absolutely.
Second half adjustments. Period. It's that simple. It's okay. Like, crap, things happen. You're not able to, you just have to, maybe rip into the guys, whatever. I don't care what you got to do. But the give them some 5-hour energy shots across the board, whatever. But the bottom line, I still didn't see it was blatantly obvious Anthony Richardson was off that night. You have no backup to go to. So guess what? I don't care what you got to run. Start attempting some tight end throws because they're on the field. So I don't know if it's that, and I'm just spitballing right now. But just run the ball. Naquan's still not getting anything. So why is he, who's not running well, at least that particular game? Sometimes people are just off. I'm not a fan of him in this scheme. It is what it is. And it's unfortunate. I like him as a back. But why, at this point, are you just not going two-headed monster? Why is he on the field? When that pick happened, why is he not just shut down? Because they have the stats, they have the army, they have the analysts. There's no reason why he should be on the field. So
what happened was
he's throwing that play. So there's so many why. Throughout the first half, we still are in the game, win the game.
Hirsch asked that question,
and when that pick happened, everything, we had every opportunity to win the game.
Hirsch asked that question. It was on AR. It was on AR.
No, what happened? But he shouldn't have been in the game.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not blaming.
He got the run.
I'm saying what you're saying. Player personnel. He should not have been in the game. He's not. He's not working.
He got the first down.
You're second back. So with that being said, you have two competent backs. Etienne's a pass they can both catch the ball, especially Etienne. With that being said, they didn't change. It's pretty much the same. Did you notice the difference in play calling? Because I didn't.
What I was saying was like earlier in that drive, I'm proponent. That was in my first when I first talked about who the back should be more of. On that play, they ran hurry up. Naquan was just in it.
He
just got a first down, and they ran hurry up. They went straight to the line. 5
Why
wide.
is in game?
That's something
That's
that
what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
He had
8 personnel.
He had an 8-yard. He had an 8-year
that last week. So at that point, as a staff, you can roll your eyes. As a staff, I'm checking him. Hey guys, what plays are working? Get out of 3 backs. You only have 2 backs. So he shouldn't have been on the field. You can play hurry up. I don't care.
No, I'm saying you're preaching to the choir. I said this already. I said who the 1-2 guy should be, who your feature guy should be, and Montrez should be, to me, the second guy.
Okay.
Etienne is our best guy. I said that what I was telling you, what I was going over the overall play is Naquan had just rushed for 8 yards, got a first down. They ran 5 wide. I do listen to the sound. So what McElroy is it McElroy? Or is the other quarterback from Bama? McElroy said was, and AR came to the sideline and pointed to his chest and said it was my fault. I
saw him tap his chest.
Yeah, when the corner is squatting, you run a fade on that play. He already made up his mind. He was going there. The corner squatted on it and pick 6. So he was supposed. And Naquan did what he said, what he was supposed to do. And to your point, Hirsch, why he didn't try. I know you want the effort, but I mean, it was.
I don't
by the time Naquan turned around,
just run. Why? I don't even like the play call. That goes back to the play. If you want to say the person, you say, okay, personnel's okay. I don't like the play call. Run the ball. Keep running the ball. You went from
a run play to a 5 wide.
You have to run the ball maybe 70-30 because end of the day, it showed if you're going to lean on them, you're going to be good enough to win. You got a good field goal kicker. Don't let AR lose you the game. What do? We let AR lose us the game. He was off from the first drive. Blatantly obvious. Second drive, all right, he doesn't have it today, folks. So why are we still going your normal split in play calling? There's no excuse. Your defense, they can't get anything on them. They have no special teams. Just run the ball. Win it 17-7, 20-10. Get out of Dodge, call it a day. See what's going on versus USF, and take your ass to damn Knoxville 3-0. Win a great win, ugly win, and practice things out at USF. There's no reason why we shouldn't be 3-0 with a dub. Period. People, you can make it's excuses for AR, and it's on AR, and it's on the play calling. If AR is bad, okay, recognize it, call a spade. He played like crap. For whatever reason, hurt, whatever. I don't know. Headspace, he needs some more reps, whatever. Didn't have it. Change the play calling. If it's the second drive or the second half, change it because it didn't change. Because it looked like Utah to me.
I want to just hit on the AR for real quick before we get done here today. I know there were a ton of scouts at that game last night to watch him and Levis, obviously. I know the kid got a ton of hype coming out of Utah. We all know that. I think it's time maybe to shut all that talk down and just focus on being a better football player. And hopefully he does that going forward. Hopefully now some of that noise will drown out of his out of his headspace, like Mike was talking about. And the silver lining of all this will be, that now he can focus on just becoming a better quarterback, and they can fix these issues and run and change the play calling like Mike's talking about, and get him back on track to just focus on being a quarterback that his skill set is what it is. I mean, he's not. I don't think anybody expected him to come out and be a Danny Warfel, Shane Matthews, just throw the ball all over the field. And I hopefully we don't become that. Mike, what you said you want to say one more thing on that?
Yeah, no, this is one thing you were saying. You mentioned earlier that weight on his shoulders, this and that. Yeah, I don't give a damn. All right, one, players develop at different rates. People don't realize this. Oh, it's his third year in program. Okay. Sometimes people need 4 to 5. Some people already year one. It is what it is. Okay. It's not necessary. Doesn't mean he can't be a Heisman candidate next year, or who knows? He just may have been, like I said, something may happen. He may be back next week. It's a fluid situation. So I mean, you gotta judge it week by week and take in its totality. However, with that being said, hey, just like a head coach at the University of Florida, you better be ready mentally. Jeff Driscoll could not handle it. He was a good quarterback. He could not handle the limelight. So, I mean, he definitely did a run from it. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad kid. Seems like a good guy. But, like I said, I don't care. There's 3 stashes out there. Should be 4 of you. When you sign up, you sign that dotted line for that scholarship. You know, as a quarterback, what you're getting into. And it's maybe fair or not, but it is what it is. And there's only a couple schools in the country. Florida's one of them. You better be ready for it. And especially if you play for better or worse, the pressure's there.
To his credit, he took full responsibility. That guy.
No, absolutely.
Hirsch said that Nate took responsibility. He came out and said he failed the team. The loss was on him. I love that. I want to see the bounce back. Not against South Florida. This is kind of why I wish he had those games early in the year. He came out against 2 ranked teams. So this is why I wish he had a South Florida and a Florida Atlantic to start his career. You keep forgetting he's only had 4 starts. This is about to be his 4th start coming up this week. So I wish South Florida be some things for him to work on to get better at before we go down to Tennessee. I'll keep that short, Hirsch. I know we got to wrap up.
Yeah, I just want to, before we get out, I just want to hit on what each of us kind of thinks is the silver lining out of this, and what we were most kind of disappointed about and what we want to see next. Just kind of to set the stage of where we're going.
The silver lining.
You got that? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good, Wes. Lead us off.
Yeah, the silver lining for me was the D-line. Chaos and his boys. They were on attack mode. They had that dog mentality that Sapp talked about in his press conference last week, and they were after it. And we're deep there. Princely, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, Boone, Sapp, Cox just destroyed that tackle early in the game. And then to get that sack on Will Levis that I think Javon ended up getting, Dexter ended up getting. I mean, he just straight up annihilated.
That's the interception. On the interception that he got.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This was before the interception. It was like the first drive.
That's right.
The first drive of the series. Cox was a monster last night. He was all over the place. Dexter showed up early. Boone, I can just keep naming guys on there. And our corners, I mean, we haven't been really challenged, even though Kimber did get with that big play. He has a cast on his hand. I hate players when they play with cast, especially as a DB. It kind of limits you with what you can do. I don't think he can pick a ball off. And that kind of hurt him. I think the ball did touch the ground, but it was inconclusive, so you know where you can turn it off. So I don't blame the rest for that. The Trey Dean play, never mind. Forget all that. We talk about silver linings. Silver linings to me, the D-line, they stood out to me. The thing that left me more disappointed was we already talked about it, but I'll say something else. The fact that Pearsall wasn't on the field and 7 wasn't on the field. I need more 7. I need more 1. Those guys have to be there in crunch time when we're trying to come back and have a win. So that what I was disappointed. Those guys weren't on the field. D-line was what I loved.
What do you see going forward? What are have your expectations changed on this team at all?
No, because I said this early in our podcast before the season even started when we were talking about recruiting and how I view Napier as a guy that's not stuck in his ways. He's not stubborn. He's forever evolving, trying to find out what to do next. I think he will make the necessary adjustments. He will listen to the people he hired around him because he trusts those guys, and we will make adjustments going into South Florida and hopefully into when we go play in Knoxville in 2 weeks. So I trust in the coach. I think we can still bounce back. I don't see Kentucky as a team like that, so they have a couple more losses. I still think we can do what I predicted us to do. We can finish second or first in the East. I still believe it because AR is that guy.
Mike, what were your silver linings?
Yeah, I said it, Mike.
Anyway, we'll cover that on another episode.
I would just say I'll be more specific. So going into the year, D-line depth was I was petrified, and I'm so glad to be wrong about that. They've truly impressed me, and the past couple of weeks what they've played there, and I didn't just think, but also in terms of their, we actually do have depth. Obviously anybody would have got tired on that Utah game. I don't care who you are. If you played a position, you would have got tired. So, with that being said, I like to give it, a true one person I truly acknowledge. A couple plays made, I was ridiculous. Powell. He truly did impress me. You check out 52.
I forgot his name.
He played very solid.
I'm like, who's 52? I look him up. I was like, oh, I loved him coming in. He played amazing.
Very hard. Played very
second half, he truly did show out, just shoving people along, plugging in that C gap, so on and so forth. So, I would say that was my silver lining, and also that just the D line as well, just showing the fortitude to stick it. Like the offense gave him no hope at all. They never gave up once. Period. They never lowered their head. That's so they're mentally strong. So without that most disappointed was this, and this kind of will go into my final thought. Just the total. I'll say Naquan, obviously, because I now know he's pretty much pointless for the season, unfortunately, just based on scheme fit, and it's not necessarily his fault, but also just a lack of second half adjustments. A lot of people maybe not like how Tony does certain things, but guess what? He just produces in terms of to totality of points. Another sub 30-point game, like he just gets it done. He may not like certain routes and stuff that he gives up, but it works. But we play like dog crap for 2 halves, never changed anything. And it was despicable play calling when one half, the crowd did everything they needed to do, and the defense, they needed everything they needed to do. And our special teams, for the most part, exception of one kick, which I didn't even mind because I didn't want that kickoff returner to touch the ball. And guess what? He never did. So everyone did take out AR and our offense, did everything they needed to do. So that goes into what Wes just said, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. I'm not going to just blindly give anyone the benefit of the doubt. You cannot say, oh, he's only had 3 to 4 starts, and say, oh, I'm going to blindly believe him. No, it's anarchy. Or for your boy, it's chaos. He had a good game. Guess what? He pulled a 180 and had a horrific game. He looked like Treon Harris. I hate to break it to you. He played awful. He gave you zero confidence. I have absolutely zero confidence next week. I hope I'm dead wrong. But he looked like garbage. I'm glad he took accountability, but that's about the only thing he did last night. He didn't rush the ball, didn't pass the ball, and he is the sole reason why we lost that game. If he just completes a couple first downs and doesn't turn the ball over, we win the ball game. We won. I saw somewhere someone said we won the game because they are, and we lost the game because they are. So AR is 1-1. So never be the reason you lose a game. Period. And he is the sole reason. I don't care about accountability is great, but guess what? Cool, you still sucked. So, and also Napier. All right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Solid play call. Utah needed to get better. Guess what? Got horribly worse. He didn't adjust in the first half and second half. Didn't adjust. So once again, why would you blindly believe in him? Like, you can have hope for him, But like, okay, now you need to show me that you will adjust to what you have. So you want to, like, once again, half by half. I'm looking at totality. Now I have 3 halves to judge him by. I have 3 halves under AR to judge him by. So I'm judging the total body of work. Billy's with us. Well, bro, if I continue to see this crap, you better get OC. Now we can't assume that he will adjust. And maybe if he needs OC, get one. We can't. We can hope. I would bet that he would, but you just can't blindly assume. He's given no evidence of that because it's his first year. So, Max, and with that being said, the expectations, they didn't change. I had, once again, it was a flip, but I had 6 to 10 wins, picked 8 wins. Defense is going to be steady Eddie and playing better than I thought. We're in the ball. We're good. It's a flip of a coin game. We're 1-1. Both games are flip of a coin, even though I take it back. Last week, this one we just lost. We beat ourselves, and Kentucky wanted to get us a game. So it was technically it was a coin flip game, but if you look at the game, no, we just lost it multiple times. So special thanks to AR, most notably, and Billy Napier for not adjusting.
All right. Silver linings for me, man. I just, y'all touched on the defense. Can't argue with that. Defense played an outstanding game as far as I'm concerned. 1 or 2 concerns. Nothing major that can't be fixed. I think Helm got picked on a little bit. But like every Kentucky game, man, it's just anything that can and happen weird happens. Helm comes up to play a ball. It gets tipped. It goes over his head. A guy catches it 15 yards downfield. Okay. What do you all right. 3 penalties for 28 yards. I guess that's a good silver lining. Played great. But another hold on the damn kickoff. Come on, guys.
It's getting ridiculous.
By the way, that ref, bro, he did like a crow hop on that thing.
Okay, great. The penalties clean themselves up. Discipline. Accountability, like y'all said, that's nice. It's good to hear. But you got to see something improve from it. Like, you can't just take accountability and then do the same thing. That's insanity, not accountability. What was something that I'm disappointed in? I was very disappointed in the offensive line play as a whole. Osiris is an NFL player, beast, gonna do his thing. Tarquin got hurt. I think that didn't help. Kingsley and Garage I don't think they're going to be pleasantly happy going into film this week. I think they're going to see that they played badly. And Ethan played like Ethan. He played good. Ethan did his thing, but I'm sure there were some opportunities there too, because the holes just weren't as open as they should be. Just missing assignments. A lot to clean up. Whatever Billy said about last week about film being ugly, this week is going to be 5 times as ugly, if not more. It's just going to be ugly all the way around on offense. What do you take out of this that was good? A 40-yard touchdown run. 40-yard run for Montrell. Okay. Etienne had some great carries. Like Mike said, Naquan is going to have an 8-yard run on film, and that is going to be the one positive he's got on film at all. Dropped balls by our receivers in the first quarter. Before AR really lost all confidence in himself, just dropped passes. Once again, yes, were some of them probably thrown a little too dang hard? Probably. Do you need to make, are they going to tell him, hey, you need to make that catch? Yes. Frustrations all the way around, guys. There's no other way to say it. There's nothing real positive you can take out of this, except it's an opportunity to learn and get better. But that goes back to, you have to see that. You have to see things changed. Play calling has to change. Mike has alluded to it several times. Adjustments need to be made in the half. Lots needed to be made at the half of this game, and absolutely none were that I could tell. So my expectations haven't changed. I mean, I still thought we were 7-5, 8-4 team this year. I knew there were going to be growing pains. It's inevitable. I mean, you can point to Nick Saban losing to Louisiana Monroe. You can point to Kirby Smart losing to Vanderbilt in his first year. Every coach has hard losses, but they adjust. They overcome them. They get better out of them. And you're going to find out real quick if Billy is in the same stratosphere as those guys going forward by how different we look week to week. And last week we looked really good, and this week we went backwards. Now you either move forward and look better week to week, or we got to start asking some hard questions. And I'm not saying, oh, we're on the fire Billy Napier already, but does Billy need to find an OC? And is he taking on too much responsibility and it's taking away from his planning for the game? These are very good questions. I mean, they're very, very good questions. If AR keeps looking like this, does Jack Miller play football this year? He has to. If he doesn't get better than what we saw last night. And that's not me saying AR isn't the guy. AR might respond to this and be a world beater. We don't know. We'll find out next week how much changes. And that's not going to be a good sample, I don't think. But we will see. If he comes out and completes passes left and right, well, that's an improvement. But it's also a manner of, of who we're playing. The true test is going to be in 2 weeks when you go to Knoxville. Mike, you got anything you want to add before we get done and get out of here?
Yeah, no, this is a group question. Kind of piggyback on what you just said. Midway through the fourth, say 9 minutes to go. Do you bench AR?
Do I?
I'll go last.
Do I bench AR or does Billy Napier?
If Jack Miller's healthy.
If Jack Miller's available, I think you have to at least give him a series and see what happens. I mean, I think even just if it's just to calm AR down and get him out of there and let him clear his headspace, I think you have to at least run him out there and see how the tempo changes, see how the play changes.
Not in the fourth quarter. I would have done it in the third. If you're gonna do it, you don't do it in the fourth because you kill him then. You kind of kill his whole confidence.
Yeah, but I was asked in the fourth, so
yeah. I wouldn't have done it in the fourth. At that point in time, you live and die. You let him learn. If he's gonna fail, you let him fail. You let him fail that way. You let him make the mistakes. You let him learn from it, put it on film. But I might have, if something was wrong, especially if he's legit injured, then yeah, in the third I would have probably put Miller in the third. In the third quarter,
I don't think he was hurt that bad. I think he was hurt enough just that he was protected from running the football and being the quarterback.
And I don't know, but that could have affected his mechanics, and it could have been a trickle down effect. I just want to propose that because at the end of the day, if you can't be trusted and make a simple throw, you can't go out there.
Yeah.
And I honestly would have thought about the walk on.
But I think I think it's an absolute indictment.
Walk-on, at least a series.
I think it's an absolute indictment, though, to what's Billy knows those two other guys behind him are, that he can't even run them out there.
Well, I still do you know at that point, I have a question. That final drive, did you have any faith?
Oh, no, I knew it was done. I knew.
Okay.
He's not all of a sudden going to find himself.
Do you have faith?
No, I didn't. I would have no faith in that kid.
But guess what? We don't know.
That's true.
It's the.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
That's all. Like I hate.
But at that point, it's too late anyway.
I'm not gonna freaking lie. He played like crap. All right, worst performance I've seen in eons. Maybe. So I mean, it is what it is. It's like Will Muschamp's coach.
Man,
this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible.
Treon beat Georgia completely.
I would have played the walk on the whole fourth quarter because I'm watching the game. I had 11 hours of driving, so the way I see it, someone owes me gas money. All right, someone owes me freaking gas money, bro.
Oh,
so man. I mean, it wasn't a fun drive, and I got to get an oil change next weekend. I could have got a lot done.
Guys, we could sit here all day and air out these grievances because there's a lot to dwell on. There's a lot to think about. A rewatch is only going to make it more painful. I already know that's coming, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's how I am.
There we got to.
But it goes down
to Phil. We?
No, well, you won't. Because you know ball. Mike knows ball. But we're gonna talk about that on the other show. We're gonna let Mike brag and tell us how much he knew ball, and he earned that right. There's a lot of work to be done, guys. A lot of work, and it not just on the players' side of things. A lot of work to be done from the coaching standpoint, and I'm sure the first press conference Billy has, that's going to be a comment that gets made because that's how he is. He's going to say the coaches they have as much work to do as the players have to do. I'd almost guarantee it, but he's not wrong.
I'm scared to hear that, yeah, but
he's not wrong. They got some work to do. Rob Sale, Stapleton, they got some work to do. Billy Napier needs to go look in the mirror today and say, what do I need to do as a head coach to improve and make my team better? And I have a feeling he'll do that. Absolutely. But we're going to see next week and going forward on the field what he does. Jack Miller should be getting close to coming back. And guys, we don't want to say this. Nobody wants to say it, but it's the way it is. If the guy's not getting the job done, you got to find somebody that does. That's why you get paid the money that Florida's paying you. It's not always easy. And it's nice to have Tim Tebow in town and slapping it up with AR and making goofy videos and things like that. It's great. It's fun. It's not fun when you lose.
I was going to do it with Mike. That's what they were doing. I was going to do it with Mike. I thought he was doing it. Like how they were moving on the TikTok. Yeah. Right.
That's fun and well. It's fun and well when you're winning football games. And the moment you lose and look like that on national TV and everyone sees it, then it's time to quit making the funny videos. It's time to quit talking about punching your ticket to New York. And it's sure as hell time to quit talking about first-round draft picks because nobody's drafting a guy first round that looked like that last night. It's just what it is. It's time to get in the dang lab. It's time to watch film. It's time to go out there and throw these short intermediate passes and just work on getting your touchdown. And if you can't do it, it's time to start looking over your shoulder. I don't think anybody, and if you debate that, then you just are looking to argue, period. You just, because.
With yourself, because I'm not.
Exactly, because we ain't arguing that. It isn't anything to argue. Well, guys, we do it every week. It's our Raw Reaction Show. We're going to be here, rain, sleet, shine, in all kinds of weather and all those good things we like to say. So hopefully next week we're having a better discussion and things are looking a lot better and we can talk about, going to Knoxville with a little momentum on our side and not questioning everything that's happening. Mike, you got anything you want to add before we jump?
So much, but I'll just say
no.
Bateman got us.
Bateman got us. Wes?
Nothing, man. Just go Gators. And fans, calm down.
Yeah.
Chill.
That's a good message. Guys, knee-jerk reactions, we're all going to have them. Just get behind your team right now. Let's see a little bit more of a sample size before we start. Just like recruiting, like we said, don't throw guys out of town after, one bad game. Let's see where it goes. I know it's easy just to fire everyone.
Look at the body work. Give them a week to
adjust. Yes. Now, like we
said,
come out next week running the same stuff. Questions can be asked. Absolutely. But let's get there first. With that being said, guys, we're going to jump on out of here. We appreciate y'all listening. As always, make sure you go download us. All your, Apple, Spotify, iHeart podcasts. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Helps us a lot. And as always, if you want to support us as creators, make sure you check us out on our Patreon at Respect Our Decision. We appreciate all the love. Go Gators. And we'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.